Rochelle, I have two things to say. The first is an apology for the cold that has taken away my voice. The second is to register a strong protest as Lex's resident middle-aged white male free marketeer against your politically correct and possibly communist Lex note today, arguing that there should be quotas enforcing gender diversity on corporate boards.
But they've worked. That's the problem. They've worked. In the UK, they were called a target. Lord Mervyn Davies was very careful to call them a target, but with the threat of a quota in behind. And we've seen that the board representation has come up to almost meeting the quota target of 24% it is right now, on its way to 25% by the end of this year. It's also worked in France and in other countries around Europe.
It's all very well to have these happy, clappy, diverse boards, but why do I care? What I care about is that companies work well and that they're well governed. I don't care who's on the board, right?
Well, and I'm not arguing it for happy, clappy reasons. Fairness aside, it works. Boards are clubby. They don't work particularly well. And the diversity adds, it helps people understand what their customers are actually thinking, their broad range of customers instead of just the white middle-class men.
Right.
They also can understand getting rid of the group think. They'll have more robust and challenging decisions.
Is there any empirical evidence to support this rather nice-sounding idea?
There is. So there was a study that was done on Fortune 500 companies in the early noughties, which persuaded Lord Davies in his report, which showed there was higher returns on capital and equity in companies that had 3 or more board members who were women. And then there's also been a recent study from MSCI that has basically shown that they're less scandal-ridden. So if you've got some women on your board, from 2011 to 2014, they had less governance scandals. So they're better run, and they get better returns. I mean, it needs more study than a couple.
Can't I then agree that while diversity is a good thing, still I can object to the sort of big government quota and say, let's set targets and call companies out that don't have diversity. But why have a hard rule where the government is fiddling around with what is essentially companies' business?
Because the soft targets haven't worked in the past when we've been looking at it. Spain had a hard quota, but there was no penalty for non-compliance, and they've gotten nowhere near their 40% target. They're down in the teens. And in the US, in the last 5 years, when MSCI looked at their study, there's only been a 1 percentage increase in women on boards in their companies studied. And there, again, there's a soft target there, a goal and intention, but nothing that's hard and fast. We need something that actually has some teeth. And whether you call it a quota or not, like the UK's target with the threat of a quota, it needs to have some teeth to force some action.
Okay, Rochelle, you may have an argument here, but I refuse to be nice about it. So thank you.